for joining us this evening. And today we're going to talk a lot about alcohol and its connection with cancer. And I get this question quite a bit from my patients because alcohol is a part of a lot of our lives, a lot of our when we were socializing, and even through Zoom. Um, we do have, when we're having our Zoom parties and whatnot. It is, so one of the things that I'm going to go through a few alcohol stats. And I think how many people by like a show of hands are drinking alcohol? You can hit a little reactions button or there's like a little raise button or raise your hand button in the reaction. I can't see half of you. What does that do? Okay. So I'm not sure about Fred or Susan, but or anybody else. I can see Patricia though. Oh, Patricia. All right. So it seems like maybe rarely or none, and sometimes. So kind of all across the board, or on special occasions. There we go. So typically, since this is, we're talking specifically about life after cancer, or even during cancer treatment. The bottom line is, there really isn't a safe amount of alcohol intake for in regards to cancer risk, and especially during cancer treatment is typically a big no-no. Because alcohol does cause 7 different types of cancers and increases the risk of mouth cancers, throat cancers, esophageal cancers, breast cancer, colon cancer, and liver cancer. There's a lot of risk to drinking alcohol, and even small amounts of alcohol can increase cancer risk. So a typical moderate, let's define moderate drinking. So moderate drinking means 1 drink a day for a female and 2 drinks a day for a male. And 1 drink is equal to 5 ounces of wine, or 12 ounces of beer, or like 1.5 ounces of a spirit or hard liquor. So not much. And even occasional drinking or even less than that can increase your risk just a touch. And it also depends on genetics and things like that. But overall, across the board, there is strong, compelling evidence, especially in the field of breast cancer and also colorectal cancer, that really you shouldn't really be drinking a lot of alcohol. So one of the stats for breast cancer is compared to women who don't drink at all, women who have alcoholic beverage, like 3 alcoholic beverages per week. So it's not even like with one, it's less than 1 a day. has a 15% higher risk of breast cancer. And there's an estimate that the risk of breast cancer goes up another 10% for each additional drink each day for that week. So if you're drinking one drink a day, that like increases your risk by what? 25, 35, 45, 55%? That seems like quite a bit for having a drink a day. But that was on breastcancer.org, and I find that their stats are fairly accurate. Also, people who have, for colon cancer, people who have 3.5 drinks a day, which is a lot of alcohol, that's a very, very heavy drinker, have 50% increased risk of developing colorectal cancer compared to light or non-drinkers. So that's doubling your chances of colon cancer risk. Not great statistics. So the other question is, what about heart disease and heart health? I thought that, a glass of wine, red wine a day, is helpful to reduce the risk of heart disease, increase your HDLs, increase your antioxidants. And there have been mixed results and mixed data with that, because I think from what I've been researching, it's genetics. So certain people with like a specific gene are able to tolerate and utilize alcohol and the antioxidant properties of alcohol for their benefit, but other people have no benefit, or it is a detriment to them. So it just really depends on the person. However, there are a lot of safer alternatives to increasing your HDLs, your protective cholesterol, and also increasing your antioxidants, which is exercise and eating high antioxidant foods such as berries and dark green leafy vegetables, which do not carry the same amount of other risk as alcohol does. So what makes alcohol so dangerous? So when you drink alcohol, your body processes alcohol into, or alcohol itself is just like the general term, but the actual chemical molecule, it's called ethanol. So when your body takes in the ethanol, your liver immediately starts to break it down into a byproduct called acetaldehyde. Acetaldehyde is a toxic chemical byproduct that is very damaging to your DNA. And it actually can prevent your body from repairing that DNA damage. So why is that important? It's because DNA is what helps to keep your body going and keep your body rebuilding and repairing. So when that blueprint or instruction manual gets destroyed, your body or pieces are missing from that instruction manual, your body still has to go on, but it can get confused. And that's where disease happens, when your body gets confused and it's not doing what it's supposed to do. So that is the reason why alcohol is so dangerous, is because it's not the alcohol itself, it's the byproduct of the alcohol that your body processes is it through to? So tonight, one of the things that we wanted to do instead of being like Debbie Downers about alcohol is to give you some other healthy options, especially now it's gross weather and it's all muddy and hot, and you want something that will help you like give you something to look forward to and like help with your spirit. So we decided to give some examples of mocktails. So cocktails without any alcohol. So we have Rosemary and Shay and I have our mocktails that we made. And she's so pretty, and I like Rosemary's purple color. Is that your glass? So,
let me unmute myself. Yeah, so right. This is actually a glass I got at the American Cancer Society Desert Spirit event a few years back. And just it's just a cute little glass. And there's a lot of wine glasses that look like this now. And if you know me, I love, and obviously our website is very colorful. We talk about living in color. I love color. So, and I also used to love sangria. I loved sangria. So I pretty much put every type of fruit in bubbly, sparkling water. And this is cherry flavor with other natural flavors. There's 0 calories, 0 carbs, 0 protein, 0 sugars, all that fun. And it's just sparkling water. I added ice, and then I put a whole bunch of the fruit in there, and I left it in the fridge for a little bit, put my little sprig of strawberry on top, and it tastes really, really good, really good. Now you could add sugar, you could add spices to it, you could mull it down. I mean, it's awesome. So yeah, I mean, this is, and nobody knows the difference, right? Just me. Cheers.
So, Rosemary, do you want to tell people what your mocktail is?
It is a recipe called it's blueberry lavender fojito, F-A-U-F-Fito. Boy, there's a lot of feedback.
No.
Okay. I wonder if I went on speakerphone.
Yeah.
Well, let me try to hold it differently.
Oh, God.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, but there's a lot of feedback. Do you want me to share your mojito, your fojito? Now I can't hear you. We were having audio issues a little earlier, but it's all good.
Technology is always fun. Here, I'll call.
I know.
You called me. Put me in a cat.
Rosemary, do you want me to share your recipe, your fojito recipe? I do have it open.
I'll type it off in the notes.
Okay.
Perfect.
That'll be awesome.
And it's delicious and simple syrup with any type of spice or herb in it is really a delicious additive to mocktail. So,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, I
then,
was looking at it.
and oddly enough, I had a jar of culinary lavender that I never used before, so it was fun. But you make simple syrup, and then you pile frozen blueberries in a tall glass. Put 2 tablespoons or however much of the simple syrup, lime, ice, and sparkling water. But you can add any flavor of sparkling water that you want, which can give it some pop. Another thing, instead of sparkling water, there's a line of soft drinks called Dry, and they have flavors like lavender, cucumber, and they're not sweet, and the calorie count is about 70. So those two are a delicious additive to frozen fruits, fresh chopped cucumbers or something. But frozen fruit is a great replacement or addition to ice, and you can just jazz them up a bit, and it tastes really good.
Nice, thank you. Thank you, Rosemary. I did put the recipe link in the chat box. So yeah. So if you guys want to check that out, it is there. What I threw together was, it's kind of like a mix between like a mojito and like a mint julep. It is, I have a lot of citrus around me, and especially like a really nice lime tree that's like blown up this year. And we have like grapefruit and from our neighbors and everything like that. So basically you just squeeze like all the juice, and I didn't use any sugar at all, just the fresh squeezed lemon, grapefruit, and lime, and then added some lime sparkling water from like Trader Joe's, and like mold like sprig of mint that I have in the backyard, and threw it all together, and that's it. So super simple, super easy, no added sugars, and it just tastes very refreshing. So that is my let's run home right after work and throw something together before I hop on mocktail. Um, the one thing that I wanted to talk about mocktail wise, just to be aware of, is that a lot of the mocktail recipes call for different simple sugars or syrups, and a lot of different juices. So just be careful about the sugar content of the mocktails. They tend to be high, so just be like bear that in mind for your mocktails. So that is end of my presentation. And I know that Shay has some special presentation that she's going to do.
Yeah, I know that we'll probably have a little more of a mocktail party maybe down the road. Who knows when that will be, right? But I did a little bit of research too. Palm Springs Life magazine had, they always come out every year with like mocktail issues, which is pretty cool. And I think every community does that. I know Minneapolis St. Paul Business Magazine does. But and I know with Palm Springs Magazine, they had it in March 2019 and January of 2020. I'm not a huge heavy drinker. I always call myself the cheap date. I'm the driver. So when we go out, I find other options to be able to do. And I went to Marlin's in Palm Springs, Tommy Bahamas, and they have some really awesome mocktails, and they're just a different version of the Long Island iced tea, the mojito. They have something called the pain chiller and the Cuban cocktail, which is amazing, amazing. And you don't really know that's the difference. The Kipton Rowan also has something called the Gypsy Dancer, and they have a lot of their products are from Seedlip Garden. They're non-alcoholic spirits. And they also have other things like Kin and Liar's Crafted Spirits, which are also something that you can get online if you do anything at home like that. Wildest, the Ritz-Carlton, and the Grill on Main also have amazing options throughout the valley of mocktails. So that's kind of cool. Like I said, this is water infused. And tonight, okay, I'm gonna pick you guys up and bring you over to my wee little thing. I just want to show you some fun stuff that I did for tonight. Bear with me here. So this is something I thought that all of you guys could kind of see. Like, it's just different. So again, we have like the fun little glass. I have a mermaid. I don't know if you can see it there, but I put the mermaid like on the edge. So you can really make it look like a cocktail if that's what it is, right? In this, I put watermelon, jalapeno, and cucumber. So it's a little mocktail version of like a little margarita, but a little spicy margarita, right? And you can use pretty much anything with that. For that one, sometimes I like to do a little ginger ale. I do the ginger ale and like a LaCroix, so I don't get all the heavy syrup like Dr. Fung was talking about. And then I just spice it up. Another thing that you can always put in there is a little bubbly Spelograno water. At Target has some really, really cool citrus water. This is probably something that I found when I was teaching yoga and stuff, but it's called Uptime. And it's original citrus. It is a mental, physical energy drink. It is natural caffeine. So there's not, and it is sugar-free. They also have the sugar versions as well, and they're lower in sugars. But this is 5 calories. Really, really good taste. It's not a lot of aftertaste in there. A couple other really awesome waters, which is by Sparkling Yerba Mate, is called Clean. This is also 50% of the profits support recovery from alcohol and drug addiction. So I always love supporting companies that give back. Hello, right? And it's called Clean Cause. And let's see, this one is blackberry and this one is watermelon. So you could take that spicy jalapeno watermelon margarita mocktail and just put it right in, right? Another couple really good products that I like is the Vita Cocoa Sparkling Raspberry Lime. So there's no sugar in this. It's a naturally flavored coconut water. So it also helps keep you hydrated, right? Steez, I don't know how to pronounce that. Maybe you guys do. If you can see that, these are organic, 0 calorie, 0 sugar. One is berry and one is prickly pear water. The prickly pear water I find is like, it tastes like a really sweet wine. And when I did drink the occasional glass of wine, I always liked white because it was sweeter. And this actually has kind of a similar taste, at least in my opinion, but I wasn't ever a wine connoisseur, so there you go. Bubbly, which is, it comes in all these different flavors. You know, blueberry, blackberry, lemon, cherry. I love cherry. They also have a great tangerine, but I love the LaCroix tangerine. And that's, again, 0 calories, zero sugar. And then again, you just get your glass. So you have your fun little glasses, cut your stuff, get your wine glass. I mean, who cares, right? And then get all your fruit all cut up. Sprigs, add your sprigs of rosemary, mint, or sage, whatever you like in there. You can put your cherries in there, your jalapenos. I mean, make it fun. Why not, right? There's one other company which you guys will see in the next couple months. We'll have them on the show. And it is called So Good So You. And these are shots. If anyone did shots in college, or maybe not, these are great to add to water, whatever. Recently, I've been using the Immunity Probiotic Shot. This has ginger in it. So not only is it really good for you, it's really good for you. This can be found at Target. And in the next couple months, I know their e-commerce store will be back up again. So you have Immunity, which is organic cold pressed juice. There is 1 billion probiotic CFUs. And I don't know what that is. So Sonia, you probably do. You could enlighten me a little bit on that. This is powered by ginger. The Beauty is a probiotic shot. It is, it also is, this one has, I believe, the watermelon in it, so it's a great hydrator. They also have digestion, which I use every now and then because I do have digestion problems. So they have that one. It has a lot of carrot, a lot of apple and ginger in it as well. They have Endurance, which is, this one has the apple and the beet and the aca berries. And the newest one they just came out with is called Sleep. I have not tried this yet, so I'm super excited to try this, considering I took a glass of Lavazza coffee last night at 9 o'clock, and I was up until 4 a.m. So there you go. I'm gonna sleep like a baby, I hope. So anyways, that's kind of what this is, you know, have fun with it. These can all be found at Target, and the majority of these can be found at Target. Walmart is great, and obviously online or wherever you want to go. So yeah, that's the water ones.
Nice, that's awesome. I think it's pretty common to have, for the mocktails, to have some type of like sparkling water or something like that as the base, and you can get whatever sparkling water or juice or syrup or whatnot in your favorites wherever you get them. So thank you for the cookie or cocktail show tell, mocktail show and tell. There's a lot of stuff out there. I had no idea. I am really excited about that ginger one, though. I love ginger.
It's really, really good. And, you know, I know like with the virus and everything that is out right now, I personally have just been really, you know, from our talks not too long ago about gut health, I've been downing the ginger to help the immunity system. So, and I think rosemary has something too. Oh, it's in the notes. Yeah.
Am I feeding back? I'll talk slow. Beer, non-alcoholic beer, tastes just like beer. And if you like michelada, which is a Spanish or a Mexican cocktail with ice and etc., some type of tomato base, whether it's, they take sometimes salsas or clamato and maji and Tabasco and Worcestershire and ice, and then you throw in a non-alcoholic beer, you'll never know the difference. And there's some great websites that show different ways to make a michelada, which is fun.
This is great. Thank you. Thank you, Rosemary. We'll put up some of our mocktail ideas into the chat. And I know Rosemary already put her michelada recipe ideas into the chat as well. So we really want to hear from you all and how, like, what are your thoughts on drinking alcohol, and what do you do for these special occasions or in lieu of? And just raise your hand or click on the reactions box or unmute yourself or put it in the chat group. Margie.
Hey, I really enjoy seedlip. So I have a bottle of the Garden, which is the most like gin. It has the flavor profile of gin. Okay, and I mix it with like coconut water, or I've mixed it with ginger ale, and I freeze my lime juice because unfortunately, sometimes I don't have them in the house. So it's nice having them frozen in ice cube trays, and I can just add it to my drink. Then today I received my new bottles of Seedlip, Grove and Spice. Shay heard about that and asked me, actually Grove is the most it has the tequila and rum profile, which I think is interesting. I'm sorry, Spice has the rum profile, and Grove has the tequila profile. Is that right? Yeah. Anyway, it's a distilled spirit, 0 calories, 0 everything. Comes out of the UK and has been distributed in the United States. You can find it at like Bristol Farms or Vaughn's.
What's it called again, Margie?
Seedlip, Seedlip. I'll put it in the chat.
Oh,
I find, and I can order it at restaurants. Like Shay said, the Rowan, for example, carries Seedlip, and there are other places. That was my dilemma, is I would get these sugary mocktails, right?
Right.
At a restaurant. And I was looking for something that had a more bitter, taste that I was actually socialize and enjoy. That's it.
Thank you for sharing, Margie. That's awesome. I'll definitely check it out.
Dr. Fung, we have Fred, who wants to ask you if you believe that one's body is like a government where things get deferred only to later on catch up and become an issue, i.e. drinking alcohol and perhaps undertaking other practices take their toll later on, and taking steps are more vital before too late.
So if I can sum up, do you mean that drinking out, like if you do drink alcohol, but other types of health issues like if your body prioritizes other health issues before the alcohol, or if the alcohol is creating other health issues and your body's trying to catch up. I'm not quite sure like that.
Yeah, he's writing us right now. He can't unmute himself, or he can't, his mute doesn't work. So
Okay. Can I try to unmute? Let me see if I can
drinking seltzers. I don't know if that's.
So maybe.
He's sending a message right now.
Okay.
Fred, you can also put it in the chat room as well.
So in the meantime, Margie has another question. She said, she asked about how, or what about when people cook with alcohol? So typically, from my understanding, when you cook with alcohol, the alcohol content gets, like the ethanol gets broken down. So you're just left with the flavor profile, not the actual alcohol itself. It gets cooked off. Yay.
Here we go. Does drinking accelerate other issues?
Yes, drinking accelerates other issues.
There you go, Fred.
Any other, does anybody else want to share about how they do their mocktails, or other options like seed lip, or that was pretty cool. Did you know about that, Shay?
Yeah, only because of the Rowan. And Margie had talked about it a long time ago, but I didn't know the actual brand. I had already drank it, but I didn't know what brand it was called. So it was great that Margie brought that to our attention. And then I started really paying attention at other places, and then requesting it at some of the restaurants that I frequent at.
Okay, nice.
I think it's really good for everyone to have options. I mean, drinking is a choice for some people. And, you know, I won't lie. I mean, every now and then I'll have a little bit of a sip of champagne or maybe a little bit of wine, but I definitely limit a lot of my drinking afterwards. I've never was really a heavy drinker, so.
And I think it just depends on, you know, again, like everybody else, but like each individual person, because I personally don't really drink a lot, because and wine and certain beers and whatnot give me migraines. So I'm like, why would I want to get a migraine? That's not worth it for me. So, and I'm not a huge, like, I might have been once in a while, like way back when, consuming a little bit more than normal, but definitely not now. It's just not. It's not a huge thing in my life. So, but I know there's a lot of like people that are different, and I have a lot of friends and patients who are huge winos, and they just have, lovely, lovely wine. And I'm not gonna lie, it tastes pretty good, but I just can't drink it.
Well, I think too, like, that for maybe there's a stigmata out there when you go out, in America, at least in America or whatever, when we were able to gather, it's drinking and eating together and whatnot, and sometimes you feel a little self-conscious if you don't have something in your hand. At least I do. And, that's totally on me, and I can work through that. But, you're right. I can't drink a red wine. It would automatically give me a headache. I had an allergic reaction to that. And you know, it's not fun. So when I'm able to kind of figure out other options, that's very helpful. I mean, if I do drink wine, I actually start breaking out into a red flush. And it's because my body does not process the alcohol that's going in there. It's actually called, the term for it, I had to look it up one time. I think Sonia, you and I had talked about this, was it's called Asian flush. And a lot of people have that, and it's something within the DNA that your body isn't able to break that down to digest it or whatever it is. But I steer away from red wine completely. Although I have since found wines that, you know, I'm able to cook with and I don't get sick or don't get headaches with, and clean wines. And there's a lot of clean wines that are out there, you know, and so if I do want to have a sip or two, that will be what I, you know, have. And it seems to be okay, but again, I don't like to drink the wine at all anymore.
Yes, definitely. And it's very common in a lot of cultures, like more common in Southeast Asian cultures, or population, for we call it the Asian glow. So, and it's because our like a lot of our like our from our uh, genetic profile, we just don't have a like the gene that makes the enzyme that breaks down acetaldehyde. We just don't make a lot of that, and so we can't break down that acetaldehyde as quickly. And so that the acetaldehyde is a toxin, so the toxins build up much more quickly, and then we react to that. Our body is like reacts very strongly against that, and we get an allergic reaction. And so that's that the flushing and the palpitations and the headaches and the whatever, like the stomach issues, things like that. That's just from the poison that we can't get rid of fast enough. So
It's amazing how our body is just automatically saying, like, don't do that. I mean, has anyone else ever had any allergic reaction to drinking or, you know, any of that?
Yes.
Tell us about it.
No, I'm not very good at it. I think, Shay, you and I would be really good drinking buddies. And to Dr. Fung, because
yeah, right.
I'm very bad at it, and my friends who do drink love going out with me because whatever I'm drinking, they get to finish. It's really sad.
Yeah.
But I did enjoy it socially, right? When I was, and now I don't. Cancer had a lot to do with that. But I think I was going that way anyways. I honestly did not find it enjoyable. The price you have to pay the next morning or the night of, it's just not pretty. Yeah.
Thank you, Margie. Rosemary.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Um, for people that still drink, the thing that's important is to modify the drinking. So mocktails are a nice option. You're going out and you have a cocktail, and everyone around you is having a second. You replace that with a mocktail. So the mocktails offer options of modifying drinking behavior that are delicious and social. And it's great to have the option. And they're endless. You can make, if instead of making a simple syrup with sugar, you can simply distill fresh rosemary or fresh oregano in warm water and use the water into your drink as an additive rather than simple sugar, rather than sweet. So it makes it savory rather than sweet. Perfect for like tomato juice and so tomato juice, club soda, and then some of the herb infusions are just flavorful and nice. And the benefits are so much healthy. You can make such a wonderful, healthy drink. And Shay, ginger, you can make a very strong ginger tea. Just boiling root, keep that in the refrigerator, put that in an additive into your water or whatever.
Absolutely. Is that it? Okay. Thank you, Rosemary.
One of these days, we'll make sure that this happens. We might have to switch up programming, I think, pretty soon. Zoom sometimes can be a little temperamental, right? Go figure, technology.
So anybody else want to chime in about their other options?
Don't be so shy. Patricia, Susan, Cheryl, anyone?
We can't hear you, Rosemary, sorry. So in the chat, Rosemary said there are many non-alcoholic liquors. Gaia is one that sounds good. And she put that in the link in the chat, the drinkgaia.com. Margie had a question about non-alcoholic wines. I don't know if there are any I think that's called grape juice.
I've seen them at like Total Wine and stuff, but some of them do have a little bit of alcohol. And I wondered if anybody knew of one that is truly zero.
I went to a couple places today to specifically ask for non-alcoholic wine. And honestly, I didn't find anything. In fact, unfortunately, one of the ladies gave me some wine and I'm like, are you sure this is not alcohol? And she's like, oh yeah. And I looked at it and I'm like, no, there's alcohol in this. So you really, again, read the labels and hope that you're not buying the wrong thing. But a lot of them have, even some of the beers out there have maybe a 2 or a 3% of something which is very tiny. But, you know, if you're in recovery or anything like that, or you're in active treatment and you have medications where you don't want to have any of that wine affect you, then it's important to always know what you're putting in your body, whether it's wine or whatever it is out there. Even some of the probiotic drinks out there have, you know, they have wine in them, or not wine, but they have alcohol in them, fermented.
Patricia said that she's been mixing tangerine seltzer with tart cherry.
Ooh, that sounds yummy.
Yeah. And then Rosemary, you just what, like Ariel? Is that a white wine or a non-alcoholic white wine? zero alcohol? Zero?
Zero alcohol, Rosemary?
I think she's looking. And Margie, you said you tried Ariel too, right?
I did try Ariel and not one of my favorites. It just, yeah. Of course, I'm not a good wine drinker either, so.
Oh, good. I'll stick with my mocktail. Okay, so
Yeah,
0.5%. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
I did want to mention something I did find pre-COVID, and I'm hoping once we can start getting together and interact socially, this will also be the case. But when I have asked for a non-alcoholic drink, all of a sudden it became okay for other people in my group to ask for the same. I find that really, really interesting. It's a comment.
Yes. Yeah. I think that maybe in different situations, um, that sometimes I feel pressured, and then other times I'm like, oh, everyone wants to do the same thing too, and not necessarily have to drink. So that's a really great point, Margie. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, I think different social situations, it is kind of peer pressure. You feel a little bit like, people will be like, oh, why aren't you drinking? From anywhere, if you're a little younger, are you pregnant? Or something like
I
that.
know, right?
I mean, you always have those things, and it's about trying to find that comfortability level. Like, you shouldn't have to explain yourself, but people just don't know what they don't know. I mean, it's so socially acceptable to go out and eat and drink. I mean, that's what Americans do, right? No, not. But yeah, Margie, I feel like that too. I feel like we've got to a point where it was okay just to, like, all right, I'll have my Diet Coke, or I'll have my ginger ale and lemon water, or whatever it might be. And I love lime, so my lime and tonic. No alcohol needed to have fun.
And I mean, we're not saying, you don't like never drink alcohol. I mean, you do you. We're just giving options. That's all.
Rosemary says, if there was a pressure to drink, I used to order a drink that I did not like a martini. So I order it and it just sat
That's an expensive martini.
there.
Normally what I would do is like I would drink it and I'll be like take a sip and I'll be like, here you go, husband, you take it.
Yeah. Cheryl says, I only drink a glass of cake bread Chardonnay about twice a year. Oh my gosh, I know exactly that is because cake bread, anything with cake on it, I was going to go after the label. That was brilliant marketing and branding there. And or cupcake wines. And literally that is a good wine, Cheryl. I must say. I must say. Yeah. Awesome.
any, any last closing comments? Anything from the live feed?
Well, we'll go ahead and put up on the blog, on the Shades Warriors blog, we'll make sure to put Dr. Fung's pics up there. We'll also put Rosemary's pics up there. And we'll put some links to some of the other non-alcoholic spirits that we've talked about tonight. That will be a fun little blog. And I'll also put some sparkling water little recipes up there and kind of go from there.
Yep. I hope you guys all had fun. Okay?
She's sending something, I can tell.
Tonic. Oh, like the brand tonic.
Yes.
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 Yeah, the other brands are like Kin Tonic, Liars Crafted Spirits, I believe it is. They also have really, really good ones, but we'll put some of those suggestions up on the blog and see if that, if you guys have fun recipes, let us know and we can share that with our community. It's great. Fever Tree products are low in sugar and delicious.
Yes. I really like their ginger ale, like the ginger brew or ginger beer that they have. Super spicy, but I really like it. The Fever Tree. It's not for everyone unless you like really gingery stuff.
Awesome. Great.
All right, I guess we can wrap it up.
Yes. Well, everyone, thank you for being a part of Talk, Listen, and Share tonight. Don't be shy. This is all about sharing and all about building community and collaborating together. Thank you very much, Dr. Fung. Thank you very much, Rosemary. We'll figure this technical thing out sooner or later. And my name is Shay, Shay's Warriors. Again, we are a 501c3. If you love what we do, donations are always appreciated, but not necessary. So we just want to be able to make a difference and help change the world little by little and live life in color. Cheers, everyone. Have a great evening.
Cheers.